Let's talk a little bit about putting here. Let me just watch you hit some putts, and then as you go, maybe share some of the things that you feel like you struggle with on the putting green. This is maybe an
I feel like I struggle with sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I feel like I struggle with the pace. Especially uphill putts. I mean, I leave a lot of putts short. And what did Yogi Berra say? He said 90% of the putts that don't get to the hole don't go in.
That's exactly
so
right.
I'm proving him right. So I feel like I really struggle with my speed control. And of course, that's going to go right in.
Well, exactly. That's what you do, man. You show up when it's time to show up.
Yeah.
You've had a couple of people tell you about some things that you need to work on, too. One of them, Tom Byram, Kurt's brother, and I've done a lot of stuff with both of them. And they've told you that, or he's told you that there's a little bit of a transition issue, the speed of the putter head.
Yeah, and I think he wanted me just to kind of get the club going back a little bit further. And then coming through, and I watch him, and he actually putts. I mean, he does what he's telling me to do.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times, and this may be a little exaggerated, I feel like I get just real short and just and that's
particularly.
Of course, it went straight in.
Get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it was that would have been, I don't know, that would have been 10 or 12 feet by
if it didn't go in.
Yeah, exactly.
It certainly moved the hole a little bit on our brand new putting green, by the way. All right, so go ahead and set up. I'm gonna give you two things that I want you to work on. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna change this position of this index finger. This is gonna be something, particularly as a pitcher, where you've got too much control, too much feel in that fingertip, and you're gonna chuck that head. And when you do that, you add loft to the putter. And I just want you to just hold that like it was, just wrap it around there that way. Then what I want you to do is I want you to feel like when you come through, and I'm going to get on the other side here, you keep holding this. When you come through, I want you to feel like the handle of the club is going to stay ahead of the putter head. I don't want you to let that putter head go whizzing by there, okay? And I've got a little prop here that I'm going to introduce to you in a second here, but I just want you to go ahead and make a practice stroke first for me. Let's take and I just want you to just feel like the handle is going to, there you go, good. Do it again. Good. Now go ahead and make that stroke. Nope, you chucked the putter head on that one. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to feel what goes on. So now we're going to introduce this, and I know you were sitting there going, man, what are we doing with this? So you're going to hold it like this. And what I want you to feel is when you're coming through, imagine that you were painting the house. I don't want you to come through and I don't want you to flip the paint that way. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to feel like the paint is just going to stay on the brush. You feel how it kind of drags like that and goes that way instead of coming through and going flip like that? So just take a couple of putting strokes where you're doing that. Just start, you're not going to make a backswing. Just start with it on the ground in the backswing and then just come through. There you go. Do it again, a little softer in this area here. Yeah, there you go. Good. Do it again. Good. And as you feel that your hands are going up in the air a little bit, and you're not really you're not changing this wrist position. I don't know if there's a pitch that you throw where you're going to change your wrist position. Do you throw a slider?
Absolutely, yeah. Cutters or even curveballs. You're definitely. You're not behind the ball anymore. And,
yep.
I always told people like it took more arm strength. That's why a lot of times breaking pitches during spring training I struggled with because I didn't have the arm strength yet to actually spin a ball forward and get it all the way there and be consistent with it.
Perfect. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to imagine that you've got that same wrist position that you're throwing when you're throwing that cutter, but you feel like you're just you're dragging that putter head as it comes through. And this would be something that I would tell you when you go back home, get yourself one of these paint brushes and just put it on an alignment stick, and you could practice in your house just getting used to feeling this. And what you'll do is when you take the stick and put it up against the forearm, you're going to get a feel of that staying connected to the forearm instead of flipping that way.
So I see people putt actually with the putter on their forearm nowadays.
So we're going to change that grip. The hands are going to start a little bit more forward, and then you're just feeling like you're dragging the putter head. That's going to slow transition here. There you go. Good. Now, when you hit
rolled
this,
really well.
When you hit this one, just try to hit it. I want you to feel, and this is the hard part about teaching a pitcher, because for the most part, you're just trying to throw it almost through the catcher.
Yeah.
I want you to feel like there's an end point here. So when you do this, I want you to hit it, instead of focusing on that hole, focus just a little past the cup.
Okay.
And I want you to hit the ball so that it stops dead at that other ball. Drag that putter head and then feel that space. Feel that distance. Now that's brilliant, because though that didn't go in, do you see the speed?
Yeah.
As
Gotta
you
get that
start to
right.
get comfortable with the speed,